Hey guys, this is Ryan with Mama on Mission, and today I'm going to bring you a quarterly homeschool update. We have officially made it through our first 9 weeks of schooling. We did take a 1 week break, but we've had 9 weeks of lessons. Um, and I just wanted to kind of update you on how we're liking the curriculum we've chosen, how my boys are doing, anything we have changed. And obviously, I plan to do this 4 times a year, um, just to kind of keep you guys updated on how we're liking what we're doing and how we've changed it. You're gonna have to forgive me. It's really cloudy out, so I'm trying my best to get some light in here. And I'm still working on my first cup of coffee and haven't been out of the shower that long. And I've got a headache, and my kids are running amok out there. It's just one of those days. Actually, it's been one of those weeks. We were on a staycation last week, and coming back, we were all excited on Monday to get back into school. It was great. Tuesday, we had co op, and then it's just been downhill from there. So I'm glad it's ready. First homeschool update, morning time. We have been focusing more on this. We've done it for 2 years now, maybe three. I don't know. But this year we wanted to really focus in on it and make sure it got done as often as possible because it was one of those things that was easy to kind of let go by the wayside. And I wanted to make sure this year to actually continually get it done. And we are loving it, especially because the last year or two, I've tried to like hit almost every topic every day, and that was exhausting. This year, with my learning loop and my reading loop, which if you watch the What's in My Morning Basket video, you'll see what I mean by that. But adding the loops has helped us to be able to really focus in on one thing at a time each day. And we have just loved that, being able to just sit down and read for 30 minutes from one book and not like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, you know. And we've just loved it. We especially love, part of that is our Bible time. We have been loving, loving, loving Apologia's Who is God and Can I Really Know Him? It's just so, it's really broken down and easy to understand and very applicable to my kids. The stories they use and stuff, it just makes it so easy to understand and so enjoyable. It's not dry at all. And the notebooks and the coloring pages that come with it, coloring book that my kindergartner is using, it's just so much fun. We love it. I've kind of been failing in art for our morning time. We have been doing the art appreciation that I told you about, and that part of it's going well. Reading about Leonardo da Vinci and stuff. But I had planned to because it's not a very in-depth curriculum, so I supplemented it with some Usborne stuff, and that's fine. But I had planned to, since it wasn't super in-depth, to also just do some free art along with it, let my kids just paint and draw and color and whatever. I've been failing at that part because I should not have put that in with morning time. First thing in the morning, I do not feel like getting the paints out. Just not that kind of mom. So we're going to have to do something different. I don't know what, but I need to somehow set aside a specific time to actually let them do art. Free art, not, here's what you need to do step by step, but just like let them explore and go to town. So that will be changing, and I'll probably have an update next quarter about how that went. On to our subjects that we do together, my boys do together. We have Apologia Anatomy. That's going great. I knew it would. I love it. That's all I got to say about that. And then we have Story of the World. And this is our second year doing Story of the World, as well as Apologia Science. And I'm still loving Story of the World. However, I am really wishing I would have bought the CDs this year. With a very active baby, he was born last year toward the end of the school year, but he was just like a little newborn and didn't do much. Now he's active and yelling and, needs a little more attention. And I just am having a hard time getting through all the reading because my oldest can read. That's just a little above his level. So I still have to read it all aloud to them, and we're just having a rough time this year getting through it without being interrupted. So I'm wishing I would have bought the CDs. And I mean, maybe if the budget allows later, I will. Right now, we are kind of we've kind of used up all of our homeschool budget for now, so that's just really not in the plan. But I'm wishing I would have got those CDs. So if you see any for sale, maybe used somewhere for Story of the World, Volume 3, let me know. And that's all I got to say about that. Now on to Jude, specifically my 7-year-old. He is loving his vocab this year. We did not do vocab last year. This is our first year doing it, and we're doing Wordly Wise. And he is loving it. I'm loving it because it's pretty much totally independent. He knows what sheets he has to do on what day, and he does them, and then he tells me when he's done. I read off the answers from the teacher key, and he grades it himself, and we're done. And same with the test. I give him the test booklet, he does it. I read off the answers, we grade it, he's done. All about that life. And same with spelling. We used a different spelling for kindergarten and first grade. This year we're doing something different. And it is pretty much totally independent also. There has been the exercise that he usually does on Thursdays, because it's like there are 4 like exercises. So he does one Monday through Thursday and then takes the test on Friday. So the one that he usually does on Thursday is kind of hard for him. There's a lot of writing that has to be done, and they give him a little tiny space to do it, and it's kind of like make up a story using however, as many of these words as possible. Well, he'll make up like a huge story that uses one of the words. I'm like, okay, let's. So we've changed that up a bit where he mostly just has to do it orally now, and I just listen and tell him, that's great, or nah, let's work on that. So it's not as difficult, and then he has to spell the words that he uses. But other than that, we're loving it. Very independent and very effective as far as I can tell. He's done really well on all his tests. As far as math goes, I don't really have any updates there. Still doing Saxon. He's not as in love with math as he was as a kindergartner and first grader. Toward the end of first grade, he wasn't loving it quite as much. And then this year, he's still just, he doesn't dislike it. He just, I don't know, gets kind of tired of it because he always knows there's a worksheet coming and he's not a worksheet guy. And same goes with writing in his first language lessons book. It's not his favorite subject, but I don't think that has anything to do with the curriculum. I think it's just not his subject, but you've got to learn how to write, so we do it. And then the only other update I have on him is that he is a reading fool, you guys. He's been reading for a long time now, but he is suddenly like obsessed with it. He loves books, and I'll find him just sitting, which both my kids have always kind of been like this, like book lookers. I'll just find them sitting looking at books. But now I'll hear my little one or my middle child screaming, and I'll go in there. I'm like, what's the problem? He's like, I want Jude to play with me. And Jude's sitting there like with his nose in a book, and he's like, I want to finish this chapter. So, it's annoying that they fight over it, but it's a good problem to have. On to Jonas. He has also started reading, guys. I never thought that he would be reading in kindergarten. 1, he's a young kindergartner. And 2, he's just different than Jude. He is a totally different kid. His strengths are different. His weaknesses are different. And I was so scared to teach him how to read because I never thought I'd be able to. I thought it was going to take a long time and maybe a different curriculum or someone else to do it because I was a little nervous. But guys, he's doing it. We are using Ordinary Parents Guide to Teaching Reading, and as soon as we got through all the letter sounds and started doing the 3-letter words, I was like, okay, here we go. And he's breezing right through it. And then he has been getting his hands on the Usborne my first reading set. I don't know. I'm butchering the name, but they're reading books, or they're beginning reading books. and where it has the little words that the parent reads and then the big words that the kids read, and he's breezing through them, and I am so impressed. Um, Other notes on him: he is doing Saxon kindergarten math, and we ended up doubling up on it. I didn't bother testing him. His brother, I tested him to see kind of what level to put him at. I didn't bother testing Jonas. I'm like, well, he's a young kindergartner. Surely he's not going to need the first grade one. Um, and I think he could have done it. So after a few weeks, just doing regular, as scheduled with that, um, I began seeing that it was so easy for him and he loves it. And he was always asking to not be done. And so we started doubling up his math lessons. So we do 2 lessons 4 times a week. And I mean, they're short enough lessons that it's not like adding a ton of extra time to my teaching time. But I feel like it's a lot more fulfilling to him now. And I feel like we're going to sooner get to where it's more on his level because it's just too easy for him now. But other than that, I think he's doing pretty okay on everything else. Nothing else to make note of anyway. If you like what you see, subscribe and comment below if you have anything to say about any of the stuff we talked about, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.